We're playing Minecraft again. We're gonna make some. Why am I talking like that? We're gonna make some additions to the house today. Hopefully, find some more iron, diamonds. All the stuff that all those generic content creators make. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Forgot I had an iron pickaxe. We don't have very many torches. I'm gonna go ahead and cut down this tree right here, just so that we can go ahead and, get a better view of the lake, or creek, I should say. Not really a lake. I tried contacting my friend, seeing if he could play with us today. He could not, unfortunately. Oh, I forgot about the spear, dude. Screw the spear. Spear sucks. Who likes the spear? It's the worst, honestly. Even in Minecraft, I don't really like big houses. I like to keep things kind of modest, like this. Of course, there will be a floor. I'm not insane. Let's go ahead and start doing that. This is probably going to be one of the most time-consuming tasks through the stream. Just house renovations. That's mainly what I'm probably going to be focusing on. Okay, now I have to... There we go. Eventually I'm going to recenter my house, or bed, so that I can put some slabs around it, make it a bit more, give it some more depth. I think I do that a lot, and it looks really good. And I did not forget about that one under the door. Oh god, dude, I'm such an idiot. And why don't we do this? Wrap this dirt around the outside a little bit so that I don't fall out and down. Could potentially die from something that's trying to touch me. Okay. Now the next task is... Next task is finding a cave. Which will be the second most time-consuming task. So, I guess we should go exploring. I left most of my food at my house. I don't even have any stone to cook it. So I just have bread. You should be able to, like, cook bread and make toast. I think that would be cool. And they should also add, like, seasonings to the game. I think that would just be a really, really neat addition. The seasonings, like, the more seasoning you have on a food, like, maybe max 3 and different seasonings, give different saturation. And so, if you have, like, seasoned steak with 3 of the best seasonings, you get the best steak in the entire game. I think that'll be a cool addition. But, of course, other people might think otherwise. This is fun. Okay. Whoa. Alright. Almost died. Okay. A ruined portal! Let's go. And now I'm gonna zone out while I run over here. So if anyone chats, I won't read it until I reach the portal. Okay. Why doesn't it drop when you break it like that? I feel like it definitely should. Okay, we got stupid stuff. Nice. Not enough obsidian. Gold block? Ah! Screw you, bro. Never ever do that again. Your meat is mine. Part 2. This could be a cave. And yeah, I think it is. No, it's not a cave, Levi. There's a huge cavern leading into the pits of hell. That's not a cave. Yeah, certainly. I'm a chud, dude. Like, genuinely, what am I doing? People always say that chuds are the happiest. That might be true. But if I'm a chud, I'm certainly not happy about it. Because I don't want to be called fat and lazy. Let's make some torches. Kaboom. 62. Beautiful. Perhaps this... Never mind, this is a cave. And there's a mine shaft. Holy luck. Ow. Hey, you ain't gonna kill me, you ain't gonna kill me. Hey, get clipped, get clipped. Oh, dodge. Supreme. Holy chuds, bro. It's got their ankles broken. What's this? Oh my god! Can't have jack shit in this game, can you? I swear I remember full iron being... Okay. I do have hard mode on. Yo! Dude, I hope that the sun comes out and personally delivers you the most existential form of torture a boner can experience. And yes, I call skeletons boners. I hate them so much. Stupid boners. You know what? Enjoy this little scene of me running back to that cave while I don't talk. Okay, it starts now. I'm sorry about that. Okay, it starts now. Apologies. We have to pause it real fast. Okay, let's keep moving. What? 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 There's a village up there? Since when? Yo, this looks like those mountain cities, or like those like cave side cities that you'd see in like the ancient civilizations or whatever. Dog, what even is this? I have never ever seen this before. Yo, you just broke it, fatty. Move. It's not fun fighting with a pickaxe, but it's all I got right now. You know what? Screw that cave. It's time to go villaging. I'm kidding. We're not gonna just disregard the cave. That had a mine shaft. That's very, very useful. Is this all that y'all have? I'm taking your bell. Wait, I want to see where y'all go when I ring the bell. What? Where are these houses coming from? Okay, well, I'm gonna take all your hay. That's not okay with you. I don't give a shit. Another I got a stress eat. Yo. We got a... Oh. Yo. Who made this seed, bro? It's my house now. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Okay, let's just... None of these villagers are employed. All of them are unemployed. This entire village is going into shambles. Who's that over there? Let's turn my FOV up. I think I see something. Is that a blacksmith? I can't tell. Who could ever play Minecraft like this? Quake Pro. Makes me feel like I'm going faster than I actually am. This entire sector up here is just abandoned. That's sad. Never mind, there's somebody right here. Oh my god, I just set right. We gotta get home. Ow! I can't die, I can't die. I literally cannot die. My house is way too far away from this village. No, 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 no. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Maybe we should change the mode to normal until I get essentials, not just a pickaxe and torches and whatnot. Seems like a smart idea, doesn't it? I think it does. The weekend genuinely feels like salvation from school. Okay, I'm nearing my house. I know that lava pool's not too far away from my home. There's my humble abode. Or however you say it. Oh, dude, I want something to drink. And no, I not alcohol. I also want something to eat. 10 p.m. It's prime time for mac and cheese. Alright, our respawn point has been set thousands of times. What was that? Oh, fishy. This is peaceful. Wouldn't you guys say? Gotta appreciate the beauty. Gotta appreciate the beauty. Gotta appreciate the beauty. Oh my god, it's doing it again. No, 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 no. Hold on, wait. Oh my god, it's doing it again. Stop. Okay. How do I fix this? How do I fix it? How do I fix it? Stop. Okay. How do I fix this? How do I fix it? How do I fix it? Stop. Okay. Alright. Maybe. Should I turn off the aux? Alright. No. Maybe. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me try something on my end. It stopped. We've been saved. I don't see Twitch streaming as a potential full-on career for me. Honestly, it's kind of just like a side hobby. And I do know that I'm talking to myself, so I'm going to take this time to, even though there's nobody listening, I'm going to take this time to express something about myself. It's something weird, unless you partake it in that direction. But I've said this before, and I like the Amazing Digital Circus, okay? Crucify me. Alright, you hate me if you want. However, the ending kind of left me off on a little note. I feel like there could be more to this. I couldn't come up with anything on the spot for the next season of TADC because honestly, it was kind of such like a closed book ending that really can't do much with it. So I didn't do anything with that. However, the next few days later, oh my god, there's another village house. I began getting an idea for a little side project that could potentially be just like TADC, if not more popular, which is definitely not going to happen. I called it Monogon, spelled Monogon. And basically, it was something that wasn't necessarily meant to be serious, but I kept adding to it. And eventually it became such a big project in my life that I never really did give up the project, even after I thought, alright, I'm done with this. I had just written in my head 10 little episodes that I thought would be good, which I eventually shrunk down to 9. But I'm actually taking the project seriously. I'm actually writing out an episode 1. But exactly how I'm writing out the next few episodes is beyond me. I don't think I'm going to expand past episode 1 if it doesn't get picked up by any like major animation companies, things like that. Maybe just like indie animation or something like that. I'm just hoping someone picks it up. A preferability for me would be Glitch, because they seem to give indie shows a chance. That's what I want. But basically the premise of my show is there's this guy named Harry. Harry is homeless, and he doesn't necessarily have a place to go after his friends' houses were demolished in another effort to sustain population growth. By the way, this is a dystopian film set in the year 2048, when birth rates had increased so largely that it kind of just overtook everything. So population growth is insane, and Harry has nowhere to go. He sees this poster for a place called Virtual Spaces. By the way, Virtual Spaces is the name of the company after Monogon was removed from my original options. So I changed it to Monogon, and I'm going to go into spectator mode because I cannot find this cave. Dang it. So I began to write more on Virtual Spaces, and I eventually finished episode 1. Here's how it goes in a few key moments. Harry enters Virtual Space after having no place to go. In this place, he walks around a little bit and feels pretty comfortable with the environment. You know, it's welcoming, people are nice. He thinks he wants to stay here. So, he does. He reaches his designated apartment building, which is designated when you enter the simulation, which, by the way, it is a simulation, which is why it's called Virtual Spaces. So, Harry is walking around the world, and eventually, he goes to his apartment. He sees this old guy. His name is Dave. He's a very important character. Rambling senselessly in the cafeteria of the apartment about literally incoherent nonsense. You can't make out what he's saying. So, Dave is kind of just doing his own thing. So Harry sits down and orders a lunch. However, a woman named Sheila, who isn't necessarily as important to the story, but yeah, she's still there. She sits down across from him, and the two get to talking. If a woman approached me like that, I'm putting this out there. I don't have the courage to approach a woman like that, so I just made the woman approach the man. It seemed way easier than for the man to approach the woman, but we're getting off track. So, iron. So, the two start talking. They don't start dating, but who knows, they might later. And they become friends. eventually... Oh, God! Okay. So, when they get out of the cafeteria, they start walking around the streets of the simulation. Harry asks who that crazy dude was. Sheila says that she'll tell him eventually. I'm gonna pause it till I can finish telling the story. So eventually, they go into this lounge to continue chilling out, and this is where I believe a ship between the two characters will begin. So they're talking, and then they resign to their rooms for the night. As Harry lays down in his bed and goes to sleep, the camera starts to zoom out from his window. It zooms out further and further and further, and eventually zooms out of his window. And then it goes down below into the ground? It goes down and down and down, eventually into the sewers, where we see a group who will become known as the Rebellion in episode 2. And just as we see them, the episode cuts. And that is where episode 1 ends. That's the pilot. Trust me explaining it in words is way less strong than it would be on screen, okay? Trust me. But being a show writer, you need to storyboard. Like, you need to write storyboards, you need to write scripts, you need to write literally everything. You need to plan everything ahead. And if it doesn't go right, you are the one who takes the blame. And dude, that's just... On top of school, I have all that to do if I want this to become a serious project. Which I do. I love my projects. But I feel like that's not something I should be concerned about. I have something called a beat sheet sitting on my computer right now. It's basically where you write out something. Here, I'll show you. It's where you write kind of like a story of something. Like a show, I should say. And then you start writing out key moments. These are the key moments I wrote. I wrote this 2 days ago. Haven't found the inspiration. Blah, 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 overcrowded Portland, kick-ass intro, blah, 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 blah. I bet this is where the shit between them begins. You can't imagine. So, yeah, the first episode is basically him exploring the city, us seeing what there is to offer, and at the end, we see a deeper part of the city where there's a faction that isn't even known by the company who made this this simulation. They're super, super, super unknown, you know? And so, yeah, it's a dystopia about... I'm going to try and describe this the best that I can. It's basically a dystopia about getting trapped in somewhere that feels impossible to escape. However, in a mass surveillance state like this that is super controlling, and also eventually wants to kill you through something called Phase 2, eventually you need to understand that you cannot do this alone. And I don't say that to be corny. I'm saying that to emphasize the fact that most challenges are overtaken by a small group of people. Even if that small group of people seems insignificant at first, the significance that they play in their roles are way more important when the story gets rolling. So no matter how insignificant you may feel in life, just know, to someone else's story, you are the puzzle piece that they have been missing. You have completed their story for them. The same goes for my characters. In an endless world of suffering, overpopulation, and immense crowding, they eventually learn that no matter how good a paradise is as advertised, it will never be perfect. And that is the truth with our world. A utopia just cannot exist. No matter how hard a person or group of people try, a utopia is not a concept that is possible. But yeah, that's basically the entire show. Moral of the story, never trust a person that says that they have a utopia. Kind of like communism in a way. Never trust communism. But yeah, basically, that's the show. Hopefully it'll come out sometime before 2030. Can't guarantee that for sure. I really am hoping that eventually it becomes a big project that I can work on full time. I'm being honest, I'm not too concerned about my future, but the housing market is garbage right now. I'm concerned about that. But what I'm also concerned about is my project that I'm working hard on not getting enough recognition. I'm scared that I'm going to spend all this time on something and it's not going to get taken seriously. So that's basically my fear. That something that I work hard on won't get taken seriously. It's like when you turn in a project in school and you get an F even though you worked super, super hard on it. It just doesn't feel fair. Because you put your heart and soul into that project. Of course, except for some people. I know that some people out there definitely did jack shit the entire school year. And they knew that they were going to get that F. So, yeah, that's on them. But I don't really care. I'd do the same thing. Sometimes. So, I guess what I'm concerned about is that it's just not going to get the recognition I feel like it may or may not deserve. I hate this thing so much. So, in all, my grand takeaway from creating a show is nothing comes easy. No matter how easy things are defined in a dictionary said type of situation, everything comes with corners. And if you don't turn sharp enough, you're going to fly off the road and derail all of your progress. Don't fuck up the one chance that you might have. Because the one Diamond! Because the one chance that you might have could just be all for waste. The harder you try, the more likely it is you will succeed. Don't give up on what you think works. Because what works for you will work for some other people. Just try hard, do better, because there's always room for improvement. That's what I've learned. Basically, my main quote from creating a show is, don't discourage yourself with a lack of effort. Instead, put all of that hidden strength into a new talent. Because from what I know, not trying is a death sentence to your own effort. That is tough. Genuinely. Guys, we got some diamonds. Alright, I'm going to end today's stream here. I hope y'all enjoyed my rant about that show. I'm not going to work on it tonight. I'm too hungry and tired to do that. So, wait, let's break this block of tough first. Yeah, oh god. See you later.